Welcome back to the channel. My name is Todd Jewell, and it is once again time for a market update, this time for November 2024. Today's December 1st. Literally just got these numbers out of the MLS system. They're brand new, and I'm looking forward to giving you guys some really good information to make a decision on in the next few months, whether you're looking to buy or sell a home here in the Knoxville area. So make sure stick around all the way through the end. This is really good and valuable data. All right, let's get started. So we're going to begin with days on market, and if you've been watching these videos, you know what days on market is, but if you haven't, I always like to go back over that. Days on market are very, very simple. They're just how many days is a home actively listed for sale until it goes pending. It's an indicator of how homes are being priced relative to market demand and what the market is willing to pay for those homes. And what we're seeing is we have seen that number consistently grow just a little bit every month since back in September. In September, that number was 28.4 days. In October last month, 30.8 days. And then at the end of November, we have saw that number grow just a little bit up to 34.3 days. So it's not a long days on market, but we are starting to see a trend. Now, some of that trend is a little bit seasonal. And then some of that trend we're going to talk about later is because of what I call our shadow inventory here in Knoxville that's really kind of messing up some of our numbers because some of these homes have sat on the market for a very long time. We're going to talk about that coming up near the end of the video. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to look at the sold to original list price. So what does that mean? Well, it's very simple. It just simply means when someone lists a home, what did the final sold price end up being percentage-wise of the original list price? Not the current list price when it sold, but what was the original list price? This is an indicator really of two things. It shows how much negotiating ability usually a buyer can expect in the market, and it also shows how much a seller has to expect when they're selling a home. But it really also is an indicator of how well are sellers and listing agents pricing these homes relative to demand, relative to what the market feels like they're worth. And so what we've seen is that number get very consistent. It was 96.5 in September, it was 96.4 in October, and then once again here in November, it's 96.5. So basically, we're seeing homes sell within about 3.5% of the original listing price of the home. And so that really isn't an indicator that things are going in any direction. I think we're just figuring out that when homes hit the market, they're being priced relatively decent for the most part, at least the ones that are selling are as it relates to market demand and what the market's willing to pay for them. Now what I want to do is I want to look at our active listings. Our active listings in the month of November, as of the end of yesterday, was 1,438 active listings. Now remember, when you're watching one of my videos, these are not MLS wide numbers. These don't go surrounding counties. This is Knox County, okay? So whether the homes are in Knoxville in the city, whether they're out in the Farragut area, whether they're over in Hardin Valley, Carnes, Halls, we just look at Knox County to really give you a true understanding of what's going on here locally. And 1,438 active listings, meaning those were actively for sale that you could buy as of yesterday. Well, how does that relate to what's been going on? Well, in October, that number was 1,314 listings. In September, it was 1,332 listings. If we go all the way back to August, it was 1,273 listings. So we've seen that number very slightly grow basically from August until the end of November. Now, let's look at that number as it relates to November of last year. If we go back a year and we look at the active listings, at the end of November last year, there was 1,119 listings. This year, 1,438. So there's actually a few more homes on the market. We're able to see that, and some of you who have been looking for a home are probably seeing that as well. It doesn't always mean, sadly, that you're going to have more selection. Anybody that's working with us will tell you, and one of the most difficult things we're having to do right now is try to find a home that fits what you're looking for in this market, because there's still very little selection of sellable homes or buyable homes. And as I said, we're going to explain that. Now, I like to take active listings, and that's important to see those grow, But then you want to look at new listings. How many people are putting their house on the market new? And is that number growing? Is it decreasing? How does it look year over year? Well, if we look at new listings, we had 618 new listings that were put on the market in the month of November. Now, year over year, because our area is seasonal, last November that number was 608. So what does that tell us? Basically, we're not seeing anybody sell their homes in numbers, percentage-wise. That number is basically the same as it was a year ago. So we had all hoped that one of the things that we were going to see when we looked at these numbers last year is that in 2024, by the end of the year, we were going to see more people putting their homes on the market for sale, offering, more options for the buyer, and also making it easier for the seller because they felt comfortable that if they sold their home and wanted to move somewhere in Knoxville, they'd be able to find another home as well. We're just simply not seeing that. We're not seeing people let go of their homes. And because of that, we are still seeing, as I said, a seller's market here in Knoxville. Now, I find one piece of this interesting, and some of you may catch that. We're seeing less homes come on the market month over month. If we go back to September of this year, there were 750 homes put on the market new. October, 774, and then in November, only 618. Common sense would say that means the number of active listings should kind of follow that, right? We had 1,332 active listings in September, and then we had 1,314 active listings in October. So if there were more homes actively listed or less homes actively listed for sale in the month of November, you would expect that number to go down. That's not the case. That number actually rose. It went to 1,438. Now, two ways to look at that. One is people could say, yeah, well, homes aren't selling. That's why. They would put less homes on the market, but there's still more of them available, so homes just aren't selling. If you look at our days on market, they've grown by 4 days, and that's another indicator of that. I'm not a believer in that theory, to be honest with you, because I'm in this market every day looking at homes. Here's what I'm still seeing. It's better than it was, but we're still seeing this. We're seeing so many people still put homes on the market that need a lot of updates. They need a lot of work. And that's okay if you want to sell a home that way. The problem that we're seeing is that those people who are putting these homes on the market that need a lot of work are pricing these homes just like all that work's already been completed, like they're move-in ready homes, and they're just simply not. And the market is saying no to that. Maybe 2 years ago when the market was kind of crazy, people would just say, you know what, I'll pay that, then I'll do the renovations. In today's market, people go, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not paying you a premium per square foot for a home that I have to turn around and do the updates on. I have to put a roof on, I have to put an HVAC systems in, I have to put countertops in, carpet, flooring, those kind of things. And we're seeing that a lot. And because of that, what you see if you get behind the scenes in our MLS systems, you see a lot of homes that have been on the market 60, 90, 120 days. Those are those homes. They skew the numbers and they set on the market. So we're seeing an increase in active listings as more of those have, in my opinion, hit the market. I know for us in the month of November, what we saw is if a home hit the market, it was competitively priced, just priced properly as to what the market says it should, then those homes were going fairly quickly. And those of you that are doing a lot of listing of homes as agents know exactly what I'm talking about. Those homes usually won't sit on the market more than 2 weeks, 3 max, depending on the price point. And so if they're priced properly, they sell. Many of you out there are saying to me, we're seeing a lot of price reductions. Prices coming down in Knoxville. We're fixing to talk about that. Don't go away yet. You're going to be shocked at what pricing is doing here in Knoxville. Pricing is not coming down in Knoxville. What you're seeing are people who are overpricing the homes originally, just like I talked about. Maybe they need work, maybe they're way overpriced, and they're having to bring the price down, the listing price down, to find where the market is and what it's willing to pay for it. Now, if you look at sales on those homes, when they finally do go into contract and then close, what you see is an increase in sales. Now, to show you that, I want to give you 2 numbers. First of all is absorption rate, okay? Before we go to price, and we're going to do median sales price last to tell you where pricing is, but absorption rate is a real good indicator of how much inventory is out there and what kind of market we're in. I keep saying it's a seller's market. You may be someone who's trying to sell a home and your home isn't selling. There's a reason, because this is a seller's market. At the end of November, we only are still at a 2.36 absorption rate. What does that mean? We have 2.36 months of inventory on the market if nothing else came on today. That's nowhere close to being the kind of market we need to have to be balanced. 4 months at least gives us a little more of a balanced market. Somewhere from 4 to 6, depending on the market, is optimal, but 2.36, nowhere close. Last month it was 2.16, the month before that 2.22. So we've seen it inch up, but such a small amount, it's almost not statistically moving. It's been about the same for 3 months. So our inventory is kind of where it is. We're still in a seller's market. And because we're in a seller's market, and because homes that are sellable are selling, and those homes actually are a smaller percentage of the active inventory, what's going on with pricing is this. If you look at the median sales price, now like I said, I've seen people put average sales prices online. I saw some agents do that recently on some Instagram stuff. Don't use average sales price, it gets too easily skewed. Median sold price. That's the key. 50% of the homes sell above, 50% of the homes sell below. It takes out some of the outliers and gives you a much better indicator of what's going on in pricing in any market. So what was that in November? Well, in November, it was $409,900 was our median sold price in Knox County. Now, last month, if you remember, it was $401,500. The month before that, $401,450. And so what we're seeing is that steady price increase I've been talking about that we're going to see, not just in this year like we have throughout 24. It's been exactly what we said it would be. Going into 25, it's going to be at least that again. Honestly, if we don't get some more inventory on the market and rates were to dip a little, we could even see more significant price increases. Here's the key, year over year. Last November, 23, median sold price in Knox County was $365,500. This year, November, as I said, $409,900. What does that mean? 12.15% appreciation rate. That's what it means. It means that if you were looking last year at a home in the $400,000 range, and this year you waited a year to buy it, because I had so many people tell me, I have heard it all over Knoxville when people were talking to me, oh, pricing's going down, we're waiting on pricing to go down. I see these crazy people online telling you guys to wait till pricing goes down. I keep telling you it's not going down here in Knoxville. Don't know what's going on in the rest of the country, but I can tell you it's solid here. It means that $400,000 home this year is going to cost you $450,000, and if you wait till this time next year, it'll cost you $500,000. That's what we're seeing. That's what the numbers show. There's absolutely nothing in our data that says that should change. So if you are someone who is in the market to buy a home, even though right now it can be frustrating, trust me, it can be hard to find exactly what you're looking for. You're going to have to give sometimes a little bit, but the reality of it is there's not a better time to buy than right now when you compare that to any future date. Right now is the time to pull the trigger. If you're someone who's looking to sell a home and you're having trouble selling the home, there's really only 3 things that are causing that problem, and really only 2. You either have that home overpriced, maybe it's move-in ready, good to go, it's overpriced. You just want too much, the market is saying no. 2, you have a mismatched price, meaning you want a premium for something that needs updates. Or 3, sadly, the home has been poorly marketed by you or whoever's trying to sell it. So this is a seller's market. So if you need to sell, now's a good time. Let me know. We'll be glad to help you with that. But if you're looking to buy, this is also a good time. Don't waste money. Don't listen to these so-called people who think they know what's going on. Please listen to me. Everybody's in a budget. Don't have to settle for less a year from today. Now is the best time to buy. I hope these numbers are giving you an understanding of that. I mean, anybody that's worked with us, anybody that knows me will tell you, I'm a data-driven person. I like numbers. I like the way that we can logically think through that. There's no emotion on this sheet. These are just numbers. They tell a story, and the trends are what tell that story. So make sure that if you're someone who's looking to buy, you go ahead and get in the game if you can today. You know, if you're someone who's looking to sell, hey, there's less on the market right now. There's not a whole lot of new homes hitting the market. If your home is priced properly and is in good condition, it'll sell. Now's better than waiting to spring when everybody else puts their home on the market and you have more competition in your neighborhood. Don't do that. If you have any questions about this, please put it in the comments below. We will be glad to answer. Reach out to us directly. You can do that through email. You can do that through a phone call. You can go ahead and schedule a Zoom. We'll have a conversation. We'll talk about this. If there's anything that concerns you about it, any questions you have, I would be glad to answer those for you. If you enjoyed the video, we like to have a thumbs up. And until next time, guys, I can't wait to see you around Knoxville, Tennessee soon.